Hello and welcome to Riley Reacts, where I, Brittany, Raymond, the actor and dancer who played Riley from The Next Step, react to my time on that show, Q&A edition. First up, we have, did other students at your dance school make fun of you or just get jealous because of your involvement in the show? No. I mean, I did get made fun of, yes. I got poked fun at because I was on the show and my dance studio was like making fun of me for it or whatever, because it's a kid show and it was all out of love. I think it was like harmless, like poking fun, whatever. I do remember that some of the younger cast who were on the show and then became quite popular on it did have to deal with some pretty intense bullying. I love this side tangents and rambling because it gives some insight into the real dance world, which is cool in contrast to the TNS dance world. It's great. Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. Good to know. I appreciate you commenting that, because I sometimes feel like I will go off on a tangent and as I'm editing, I'm like, do I just delete this whole part? Because is it really that interesting? Oh, this is an interesting question. What were the acting challenges that came with transitioning from dancer to studio head in season 4? Was it a lot different when all of the new cast members came in? Shelby, Alex, Isaiah. Oh, I forgot that they came in then. I do remember it being a weird transition because, yeah, I was going from being one of the crew, one of the teams, to now all of a sudden being studio head. I'm sort of, and I think it lent itself well to playing that part because Riley wasn't supposed to be well equipped for that role. She doesn't really do a good job with being studio head. She lets her personal life get very much in the way and then ends up not preparing the team well enough in her mind. She sort of blames herself for it, which obviously there's other factors, but she was not ready for that. And I think that that's why they wrote it that way, because I just was way too young to be playing that part, I think. And I think that that was part of it. That like lent itself into that. So the fact that I felt like that, a little bit uncomfortable, and there was sort of this transitional period that Riley kind of has to go through, I was also feeling that playing this now much more adult role. It definitely was weird. I remember taking more acting classes, or like I had an acting coach on set with me during that season because I wanted to be able to really do it justice, and I wanted to feel like I could give myself the best shot, not just because of that transitional shift in terms of like her being studio head, but mostly because a lot of the storyline was being shaped around Riley's storyline. Like her storyline was sort of the spine of the show that season, so I really wanted to do it justice. So I did have an acting coach on set helping me with that. But yeah, I think it lent itself well. The fact that I was sort of like feeling like I'm trying to fit into bigger shoes was exactly what the role needed. So that I think was a blessing. Another non-TNS question. What's the meaning behind your tattoo? The meaning has changed over time. For anyone who doesn't know, I have a little tattoo here. I got this when I was 21. I was with my friend, actually Mark Suki, who is also known as Queen Priyanka. So Mark came with me to get my tattoo done to the same spot that he got his tattoos done. So I knew it was like trustworthy. And I had this image in mind, partially because when I was a kid, my family and I would always like sign off the end of the day. Whenever I went to bed, we would go, love you, infinity sign. And we would say infinity sign because we got tired of just doing this, which is the infinity sign, because it means I'll love you forever and ever and ever. And so that was part of this, but I didn't want to get an infinity sign because it felt so cliched. I wanted to be different. I wanted to be cool and interesting. So I got this like kind of geometric pattern thing. And I also liked the fact that it kind of looked like an hourglass, which sort of represents patience. And that was something that I felt like I needed, particularly because I also got this when I was dealing with some health stuff, and it put a sort of halt on my life for almost like a year, and it was really challenging because it also took me away from some opportunities that the Next Step was normally giving me, like tours and stuff. So that helped me kind of get through that time. And then the two dots here also represent balance. So infinite love, patience, and balance is what this tattoo originally represented. Now it's just kind of like something I forget is there, to be completely honest with you. I have some questions if you do a Q&A. What was your favorite season to act, and what was your favorite Riley? If they were different, what is your best memory from when you were a competitive dancer at Joanne Chapman's? Okay, my favorite season to act was season 4, I think, because this answer probably changes too sometimes, but I think it was season 4 because I felt like I was really challenged that season and I had a lot of juicy storyline to work with, and I got to be featured more, so I got more stuff to do. But I think I liked Riley season 1 the best because she's just more grounded and like hardworking, and there's something about her that I don't know, I liked. And then my experience, what was it? Best memory from when I was a competitive dancer at Joanne's. My best memory was probably when I got the opportunity to be in the advanced company for the first time, which is like their highest company. And it was because one of the dancers dropped out and they needed someone to replace her for one of these dance routines. And so I got the opportunity to be in like the older competitive company, and I was so nervous and I worked so hard, and it was a really cool opportunity to learn from all these other dancers. How did my braces coming off in the episode work? So for anyone who doesn't know, I got my braces off in season 3, and I remember like there was this whole big discussion about whether or not I was allowed to get them removed, which I got the okay that I could get them removed like I think it was a few months before shooting, but I needed to check with production to make sure that they could do that, because they wanted to write in a storyline where I get my braces removed. The problem was that how do we film out of order episodes where you're supposed to have your braces on and then episodes where you're supposed to have them off? My orthodontist built a retainer for me with like fake braces on it, and then I used that, and we would film scenes with me with the braces on and then films the scenes where the braces were off. And I just took it on and off every time I needed to film with or without the braces. If Riley got written back onto the show, how do you think / want her to be written back on? I would imagine that because she's an adult, she would probably only be brought on as like a little cameo moment. Maybe as a choreographer, like a guest choreographer. Oh no, she wouldn't, because she was in business school. I think she would come on as like, maybe she would get the opportunity to run the studio again in some way. This is a bit of a bigger storyline, so I don't know if they would go with this, because the story would need to focus on the dancers. But maybe she comes on to like learn from Nick in some way, or she feels like she can run the studio again, and because she's went to business school, and then she learns the lesson that no, actually, in fact, she needs to she has a lot more to learn through experience. But she kind of wants some redemption in some way, because she was studio head, now she can do it again. I feel like that would be kind of fun to play. Do you still like banana chips? Yes, I do still like banana chips. Actually, I haven't had them in a very long time, but I do still like them. For whatever reason, they were just always available on set, so I just fell in love with them and then became obsessed with them. Good lord, now a Riley, James, Daniel love triangle? Well, that would certainly explain why Daniel chose to switch the names in the hat in season 3 to make James versus Riley happen in the Internationals dance battles. Oh yeah, I forgot that was him that did it. Maybe this was a secret storyline this whole time and none of us knew. Also, things come in threes. Who's going to cheat this time? Oh god. And to be fair, seeing as Michelle and Eldon are going to potentially buy the studio in season 10, it actually makes perfect sense for their best... Oh, is that what happens in season 9? It makes sense for their best friends Riley and James to return, and I'm sure everyone would be happy to have Daniel back as well. Having the original cast, or some of the original cast, back in season 10 would be really great. It would be really great. Anyways, I would love to hear you talk about your role on Fellow Travelers, as correct me if I'm wrong, is one of the most mature roles you've done thus far. That is true. For anyone who doesn't know, I played Kimberly Fuller on Fellow Travelers, which is a Showtime show with Matt Bomer and Allison Williams. I played their daughter. Adult roles I find are much harder to play because there's more at stake in the storylines usually, and I was very grateful for that opportunity. I learned a lot. One of the best sets I've ever worked on. Everything was just, you could kind of tell, at least from what I experienced, everyone on that set was lovely to work with and so talented and good at what they do. Such a wonderful group of people. I loved the wardrobe. My god, the costuming was beautiful, because it was like 80s stuff, but it was like upper class 80s, so the shoes were so pretty, and just playing dress up with that wardrobe was really fun. All I will say is check it out on Paramount Plus and Amazon Prime. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out, because it's a great show with a great cast, and I don't know how I ended up there on that show. But it was awesome. It was a great experience. I learned a lot, so I was very grateful for that. Okay, a couple people mentioned my earrings from the last episode. They're asking if they were Jhumkas. The earrings from the episode or the video that I posted that this question is from, or this comment is from, there were those hoop earrings, right? I'm gonna go get them. Hold on. I don't know what Jhumkas are, but I got them in Portugal. I was there with my family, I think a year ago now. Wow, time flies. And I bought them there, and they're really cute, and they were beaded, and I can't remember what store. Maybe it was that store? I don't know. I don't think it was that. Let me look it up, actually. I'm so curious now. Is this just a popular jeweler or something on Etsy specifically, or is it like a style of earring, I wonder? Can't see the screen right now what you guys are seeing, but look at this is what I found when I looked it up. Is this what you guys mean when you say Jhumkas? Those of you who asked, and wow, those are beautiful, my god. Speaking of Portugal, I actually have a couple Portugal vlogs up on my other channel called Brit's Vlogs. I'm currently editing day 3 from that whole trip. I have like something like 13 or 12 videos or something like that from all the days of my time in Portugal. I'm gonna sporadically post them throughout the year, so.
Desculpa, eu falo não português.
If you liked any of my vlog content, you should go check that out and subscribe to that channel if you like what you see. And speaking of subscribing, you should subscribe here as well. Last time I checked, there was 50% of you guys who are not subscribed, but you watch these videos, which means you clearly like them. So you might as well subscribe. If you really want to support commenting, subscribing, and sharing the video, liking the video, all of that stuff really, really helps. But if you want to take it the extra mile, and you also want to give a little gift to a friend of yours who's a big fan of Riley, for example, you could book me for Cameo. I've got the link down below, which is just a personalized video. You tell me details about your friend, reasons why they like the show, maybe some sort of a video or something of them that you want me to react to, or you can tell me specific things that you want me to say within reason. Link down below. Okay. That's everything. That's all for now. If you have any more questions, ask them below, because I'm gonna be doing more questions throughout all of the reaction videos coming up for the rest of the foreseeable future. So be sure to ask them down below, because I like to pull questions from the comment sections. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.